अनेकधा अनुग्रहाय प्रक्षीण क्लेशराशिः विषम विषधरः अनेकवक्त्रसुभोगी सर्वज्ञानप्रसूतिः भोजगपरिकरः प्रीतये यस्य नित्यम् देवो हीशः सवो व्यात् सेत विमल तनो योगदो योगयुक्तः योगेन चित्तस्य पदेन वाचा मलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन योपाकरोत्तं प्रवरं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि आबाहुपुरुषाकारं शङ्खचक्रासिधारिणं सहस्रशिरसं श्वेतं प्रणमामि पतञ्जलिम् श्रीमते अनन्ताय नागराजाय नमो नमः। पातञ्जलमहाभाष्य चरक प्रतिसंस्कृतैः मनोवाक्कायदोषाणां हर्त्रे अहिपतये नमः। भाष्यकृत् सूत्रकृत् चापि निर्मलन्तं स्वरूपिणं ध्यातारं श्रीपतेर्नित्यं पतञ्जलिं नमाम्यहम्। सत्य अहिंसा प्रतिष्ठायां तत्सन्निधौ वैरत्यागः। So friends, last time we were discussing the sutras number 33 and 34, which talks about the concept of pratipaksha bhavana, which is the development of certain attitudes that Patanjali is asking us to consider.
上一次我们讲到的是第33和34句经文，是帕坦加利想让我们培养的一些态度。
Which are certain important attitudes that Patanjali is asking us to consider before we are doing what is called the hasty or the unrefined actions, what is called vitarka actions.
这是非常重要的态度，在我们有更轻微的经过调整的行为之前，先要培养一样的态度。
The vitarka vrittis are defined by Patanjali as those that are the opposites of the yamas and niyamas.
维塔卡是它被帕坦加利定义为与 yamas 和 niyamas 相反的行为。
And he discusses the reasons why we have these attitudes and why we should not have these attitudes, because of the bad consequences that they will lead us to.
这是一些不好的态度。他讲了我们为什么会有这些态度，以及我们如何消除这些态度。
Then this is a very important part of the sutra because he has just presented the Ashtanga Yoga and he has presented Yama and Niyama as the platform for the Ashtanga Yoga. So he gives us the warning of what will happen if we don't follow the Yama and Niyama, and that is the sutras that we have seen last time.
这句讲的就是如果我们不遵循这些和内治的话，会有什么样的后果？这就是非常重要的，因为他前面刚刚说了八分之是瑜伽的基础，但是如果我们做不到八分之当中之间和内阶，会有什么后果呢？
In the next section of the sutras, till the next 10 sutras or so, Patanjali is now telling us the opposite, the benefits of practicing the yamas and niyamas.
接下来的10句经文，他在这里讲的是相反的。如果我们做到智和内治，会有哪些好处？
So he starts with the concept of Ahimsa and its benefits. What happens when we are practicing Ahimsa for a long period of time?
他首先讲到的是 Ahimsa 非暴力。如果我们长时间的做到非暴力，会有哪些好处？
Ahimsa pratisthayam tat sannidhau vairatyagaha. This sutra can be divided into two parts. Ahimsa pratisthayam, first part, and tat sannidhau vairatyagaha, the second part.
这句经文可以分成两部分。
Ahimsa pratisthayam. What Patanjali says is when the practitioner is very deeply established in the principle of Ahimsa.
前面这部分的意思是说，一个习练者非常真诚地做到了非暴力。
What does it mean?
这样说什么意思呢？
So first of all, we have to understand what is the meaning behind this part. The concept of Ahimsa is the concept of a non-violent attitude towards all creatures in this world.
我们理解一下背后的含义。Ahimsa 非暴力这个概念是指对世界上一切的存在都要有一个不是暴力的态度。
That's what Ācārya Krishnamacharya is. Ahimsa is sarva praninam na himsa bhavaha. All creatures in this world, you have to treat it with the attitude of non-violence.
这也是 Krishnamacharya 他说的，对世界上的一切的生灵，我们都应该是非暴力的。
Now this is very, very fascinating
这
because
是一个很美的概念。
it's not only a non-violent attitude toward yourself or your friends.
因为这个非暴力不仅仅是针对你自己或你的朋友的。
It's a non-violent attitude towards everybody.
这是对一切人都要非暴力。
Not only every human, but every prani. Prani literally means the one that has prana.
不仅仅是对一切人，应该是对一切有能量的一切的存在都要非暴力。
Which means it includes plants and animals and everything in this world that has some form of life.
这也就包括动物和植物和世界上一切有生命的存在。
This is very important reminder for us that we show this attitude of non-violence to every species or every creature in this world, and that only is Ahimsa.
这对我们来说是非常重要的提醒。只有我们对世界上的一切存在、一切生命都非暴力的时候，这才是真正的做到了 Ahimsa。
So we have to be established in that principle of non-violence towards everybody.
所以我们对所有的人都要遵循这样非暴力的原则。
Not only to the people we like or the people who are believing in what we are having as a belief system.
不能只是对我们喜欢的人，或者是和我们有共同信仰的人非暴力。
For example, let us say some people are vegetarians and some other people are not vegetarians.
比如有的人素食，有的人非素食。
Now if the vegetarian people are hurting the people who are eating meat, in the name of Ahimsa, saying that you are creating Ahimsa to the animals, then they themselves are causing Ahimsa, the Himsa to these people. So that is not Ahimsa. Ahimsa is not even to fight with those people who are not having the same principles as you.
如果这些素食者认为非素食者他们吃肉是暴力的，所以就会去伤害这些非素食者的话，那么其实这些素食者本身也违背了非暴力的原则。
Many people have the same view with regard to religious fights. People of a certain religion want to fight in the name of religion with other people. That is also not considered as Ahimsa.
还有很多人因为宗教信仰的不同，也会对与自己信仰不同的人有暴力的行为。其实，任何以宗教的分歧而产生的暴力的行为，这本身就是一种暴力。
So Ahimsa is a very sophisticated state where you are not even having a violent attitude towards those who may be violent towards you.
所以Ahimsa 非暴力这种态度，是对那些可能对你有暴力的人，你也要对他有非暴力的态度。
This is a very important principle, especially in the spiritual path.
这是非常非常重要的方法，尤其是在灵性的道路上。
Because when we are functioning as, let us say, teachers to our students, in the spiritual path, many times we have to deal with people's dark sides.
因为我们作为疗愈师面对学生的时候，很多时候是要面对人的黑暗面的。
And sometimes the students, your students, or our students may try to be angry with us or hurt us or harm us.
有的时候学生会对我们很生气，可能甚至会想要伤害我们。
It's happened many times to me,
有
myself.
很多这样的经历。
Many students who are angry with me or show disrespect towards me.
有很多学生对我很生气，或者不尊重我。
And I'm not alone because I've seen the same where my father, when he has taught many people have been angry with me, disturbed with him.
不只是我一个人这样，我也看到我父亲教学生的时候，也有很多学生对他是很不满意的。
I've seen the same towards my grandfather.
我爷爷也是这样的情况。
But they are my examples.
但是他们都是我的榜样。
So they kept an open attitude even towards these people who are disrespecting them, ill-treating them, and that is what I try to inculcate. And that is the principle of Ahimsa. It's very easy for us to get angry back at the people who are hurting us. That's a low level of our spiritual evolution.
我的父亲和爷爷就是对那些不尊重他们的人，试图要伤害他们的人，也是敞开心扉的，也是非暴力的，所以他们就是我的榜样。其实我们都很容易对那些试图伤害我们的人生气。我们如果是在这个阶段的话，应该还是处在非暴力的非常低的阶段。
So at the highest state, Ahimsa is to even have that non-violent attitude towards people who may be violent towards you or who may not necessarily share the same belief system that you have.
在最高的阶段，非暴力应该是对那些试图伤害你的人，或者是和你信仰不同的人，也是非暴力的。
And I always find it fascinating that we human beings, we can do this towards animals, but we don't do it towards each other as human beings.
我总觉得我们好像对动物还更友善一些，对暴力一些，但是对人类往往做不到。
There are many times where my cat, when she is irritated with me, she scratches me.
有的时候我的猫不喜欢我，就会挠我、抓我。
So in some way she is not happy with me, so she's angry.
也就是说，这个猫对我反应了，生气了。
But I don't get angry with her, I only show her love.
但是我不会对猫生气，我只是对猫表达我的爱。
And I know many people who do the same with their cats and their dogs.
我知道很多人对他的狗和猫都是这样的态度。
But they don't do the same thing to other human beings.
但是他对其他人就不会有这样的态度了。
That is the Ahimsa that Patanjali is talking about here as Ahimsa Pratishtayam. When you are so deeply established in the principle of Ahimsa,
其实这里我们谈到的非暴力，要稳定的建立在非暴力的原则之中，指的就应该是我们对待猫狗的这样的态度。
then you have certain fascinating benefits.
这样你才会获得很多很神奇的好处。
And that Ahimsa has to be in 3 domains.
Ahimsa 非暴力包括3个方面。
Kaya, vacha, manasa. You must not do this violence in physical actions like beating up somebody.
首先是不能有身体上的暴力，不能去打人。
Or with words, vacha, through words you say bad things to people, you hurt people through bad words.
也不能通过言语去伤害他人，说别人的坏话。
Or even if you don't say and don't beat them, if you think bad things, that is also ahimsa.
或者即使你没有打他，你也没有说他的坏话，但是你只是想到了他的不好，你想到他有不好的事情发生，这也是暴力。
So the principle of ahimsa is very, very refined at various levels, body level, emotional level, and the level of expression through communication, through our speech.
所以说，非暴力的这个原则是非常精细的，它涉及到我们的身体层面，还有言语层面，包括念头层面、心理层面。
The reason for this is very important, very significant.
这点是非常非常重要的。
And Patanjali is very clear about this. If you don't have this ahimsa, you are unfit for yoga, you are unfit for spirituality.
帕坦加利特别强调非暴力的重要性。如果你做不到非暴力，你就还不适合学习瑜伽，不适合走上灵性。
When you hold this himsa bhava in your body, in your mind, in your emotions,
因为如果你的身心或者是情绪当中还有暴力的话，
the vibrations in your body will be aggressive, will be rajasic and tamasic.
你身体的震动就是有侵略性的，就是激性的和惰性的状态。
And that's not going to take you closer to yoga state. That's going to take you further away from the yoga state.
这种震动状态不会让你离瑜伽更近，会让你离瑜伽越来越远的。
Whereas if you hold the ahimsa bhava, the non-violent feeling, then the sattva quality becomes more and more dominant. So you're more and more close to the state of yoga.
但是如果你是处在一个非暴力的状态，心里有的是非暴力的念头的话，那你的震动就是越性的，这样你就越来越接近瑜伽了。
Also, if you have this concept of the himsa bhava, the violent attitude, it basically means your ego is still very active.
还有，如果你是有暴力的态度的话，说明你的小我还是很活跃的。
Because we are not really hurt. Our ego is hurt.
其实受伤的不是我们，我们是真正受到伤害的是小我。
Because it's only our identity that is getting conflicted.
就是我们的一些身份认同有各种矛盾。
For example, tomorrow is a very great cricket match between India and Pakistan, the
比如
World Cup.
说，明天是印度和巴基斯坦的一个曲棍球的重要的比赛。
So, let's say I am very aggressive as an Indian supporter and I'm very violent towards my Pakistani neighbors, that is not really from my true nature. It is from my ego that I identify myself as an Indian and those fellows as Pakistanis.
假如说我是一个非常狂热的印度队的支持者，对巴基斯坦队充满了敌意的话，其实并不是我本身是这样的，只是我的强大的小我、强大的认同了印度人的一个身份而已。
In reality, there is no India or Pakistan 50 years, 100 years ago. It was all
实
one
际上
country.
，50年前还不分印度人和巴基斯坦人呢。
My grandfather was born, there was no Pakistan.
当我爷爷出生的时候，还没有巴基斯坦人。
So, this identity is only a new and false identity. Maybe tomorrow, more countries may be created or maybe different countries will join together, so the identity will change.
所以这种身份认同只是虚假的，也许明天就会有更多的国家融合为一个国家，或者是一个国家分裂成更多其他国家。
Many years ago there was East Germany and West Germany. Now since 1989 there is not East or West Germany, there is only Germany.
原来还有中国联合，原来有东德和西德，现在已经都融为一个国家了。
So if you identify as this or that, then you are only in an illusion.
所以你认同于这个和那个，都只不过是一种幻象。
That's why the violent attitude almost always comes from ego.
所以可以说，这种暴力的态度几乎总是源自小我。
Whereas the non-violent attitude will come when the ego has been controlled, when the ego has been tamed.
但是如果你说服了小我，控制好了小我的话，就会发展出非暴力的态度。
And that is why Patanjali is putting this as the first yama, that we have to have this Ahimsa bhava, the feeling of non-violence.
这也是为什么帕坦加利把世界的第一条就列为非暴力。
And in yoga classes, many people, they are hurting themselves because of ego.
在瑜伽课上有很多人因为小我伤害了自己。
I want to do better than my neighbor, so I want to push my body to do this asana.
我想比我旁边的人做得好，所以我就强迫自己进入这个形式。
So they are pushing themselves, they are asking their teachers to push them so that they can do that. It's only for ego, it's not for spiritual growth.
所以他就会强迫自己做到什么程度，甚至让老师去推他压他，这些都是源自他的小我，而不是真正的灵性的成长。
You don't have to be pushed into asana to be a great yogi.
你不是非得强迫自己做到什么样的体式才能成为伟大的瑜伽师的。
You need to evolve into your potential. You have to evolve into some positive attitudes to be a yogi, not how many asanas you do and how wonderful you look in a photograph.
你应该是逐渐的、慢慢的发展出自己的潜能，有积极的态度，这样才能成为一个好的瑜伽师，而不是因为你能够做到什么样的体式。
So a lot of violence is existing even in yoga classes today in the name of yoga, and this is a very big problem today.
所以现在在瑜伽课堂上，以瑜伽的名义也存在着很多暴力，这也是现在社会很严重的问题。
And a lot of this is coming because we have many of the yoga that is practiced around the world are coming from a wrong, false understanding of yoga that it is performance of some postures.
之所以出现这个问题，也是因为世界上很多人都误解了瑜伽，他们认为瑜伽是某种体式或某种身体的表演。
And this is partially the problem.
这就是问题的一部分原因。
The other part of the problem is we are living in a very ego-dominant society.
另外一个原因就是我们现在的社会小我都很强。
Everything is about how somebody looks, how somebody appears, how marketing is going to present somebody. That is how it is presented. Very much ego-dominant society, not necessarily a society that is based on spiritual evolution.
我们现在所在意的一切都是一个人的外表，他看起来怎么样，市场宣传的怎么样，而不是真正的一个人的灵性如何。整个社会都是小我主导，而不是灵性主导的。
And part of that problem is also because in modern society we have formed a very strange relationship with the principle of money.
还有一个原因就是现在社会我们和钱形成了一种很奇怪的关系。
Because most of the money we spend is for the decoration of our ego.
因为我们花的大部分钱都是为了装饰小我。
Buy beautiful clothes, buy beautiful car, buy beautiful makeup. Everything is for the development of the ego.
买漂亮的衣服，买豪车，买很多东西，其实都是为了让自己的小我更强。
And the other part of this problem is also because ego is normally developed by the dull minds. And that is part of our responsibility as well, our karma as well. When I look at people all over the world, it is not just in India or Asian countries, but I also see this in many Western countries.
我发现在世界上很多国家，不仅仅是东方的国家，像印度等等，还有很多西方国家也是这样。
Most parents are encouraging the their smart children, to pursue careers which get them more money.
大部分的父母都是鼓励孩子去找那种能挣更多钱的工作。
To become a lawyer, become an engineer, become a doctor. That's what most of the smartest of the people are doing now.
比如说鼓励他们成为医生、律师或者工程师等等，现在大部分聪明的孩子都在从事这些职业。
So, all the smart people are going there, which means they are not going towards understanding philosophy.
大部分聪明的人都做这些工作，也就意味着他们不会去研究哲学，
And spirituality.
他们也不会去探讨灵性。
And unfortunately, philosophy and spirituality needs the smartest minds, it doesn't need the dull mind.
但是不幸的是，其实哲学和灵性是最需要那些聪明的头脑的，而不是很愚笨的头脑。
When you look at any philosophy in the world,
我们看任何一种世界的哲学，
whether it's coming from the Vedic tradition like Patanjali, Yogasutra,
不管是帕坦加利的《瑜伽经》，
or Vyasa's Vedanta Sutra,
或者是比较喜的《Vedanta Sutra》等等，
or the Buddhist philosophies, Buddha for example,
还有或者是佛教的文化是源自佛
or
陀。
even other spiritual traditions like Christianity, Jesus for example, all of these were people with very sophisticated minds, not dull minds.
包括其他国家的中国的传统哲学等等，其实这些最初的哲学都是源自非常先进的头脑、非常智慧的头脑，而不是来自于很笨的人。
But those people are missing from spirituality today. We only have dull people who are attracted to spirituality, who are failed in other things, they come to spirituality.
但是现在那些聪明的人都在从事其他的领域了，只有那些很笨的、做什么都不成功的人才进入了灵性的领域。
Some years ago, I met one young boy
几年前我遇到一个年轻的男孩，
in a bookstore in Mylapore,
在麦当劳这个地方，
and he told me, Sir, I tried everything, I didn't succeed, so I thought I'll come to the spiritual line.
他说我尝试过各种事情，但是都不成功，然后我觉得我应该尝试一下灵性领域了。
And today, 15 years later, he's a very well-known guru.
他现在过了好多年了，过了15年，他现在已经成为一个很有名的 guru 了，很有名的大师了，
Hundreds of people following.
有成百上千的人都在追随他。
Because the really smart people are not going to the spiritual field, they are pursuing some other tradition. This is a violence towards these traditions like yoga. That's why there is a lot of violence in yoga, because people who don't understand the philosophy are representing yoga tradition, and this is a crisis in the field of yoga.
因为真正聪明的人都在从事别的领域，而不会走进灵性领域，而是这些反而是很笨的、很暴力的人，他们在从事灵性领域。这也是为什么瑜伽领域现在有越来越多的暴力，因为就是这些无知的暴力的人在代表着瑜伽，这也是瑜伽的危机，是对灵性的暴力。
And that's why I said part of the problem is because of this, many people think that if you do 400 asanas, you are a great yogi.
其实正是因为这个原因，很多人都觉得只要体式做得好，你就是伟大的瑜伽师。
The reference book for yoga philosophy is Yogasutra, and Patanjali does not even name one asana.
瑜伽的最重要的参考是《瑜伽经》当中，帕坦加利甚至一个体式的名字都没有提到。
He only spends 3 sutras about asana. There are 192 other sutras that don't talk about asanas at all.
只有3句经文是讲到体式的，其他的192句经文都说的是别的内容。
So that's why there's a lot of violence even in yoga, because people are doing it with the ego. I want to look good, I want to do this posture, I want to do that, and they break their bodies.
所以说，在瑜伽当中也会有很多暴力，人们总是强迫自己做这样的那样的体式，最后就会让身体崩溃了。
So that's very, very important.
这点是非常重要的。
And another thing which is very important to consider in the concept of Ahimsa is the balance between what is non-violent and what is not the truth.
还有关于 Ahimsa 这个概念很重要，是要理解到底什么是非暴力，什么是真实或不真实。
This concept of politeness, where you are lying because you want to be polite, is not Ahimsa, because in the long term you will hurt somebody if you are polite.
如果我们总是出于礼貌而不告诉别人真话的话，这个不叫做非暴力，因为长远来看你会伤害到他的。
So that's why Ahimsa and Satyam, they have to be consistent hand in hand.
所以说，非暴力和诚实应该是使用在一块儿的。
And you have to learn to communicate that in the most effective and non-violent manner.
要学会用最有效的非暴力的方式表达出真实的情况。
There's a great story as an example in our Vedic tradition.
这个文化当中有一个很有意思的故事。
A great astrologer, a young boy, is asked by the king to come and read his charts.
有一个很年轻的天文学家被国王叫去给国王读这个他的星盘。
So he reads the charts and tells the king,
他读了星盘以后告诉国王，
"Sir, all your family members will die before you."
说你的所有的家人都会在你之前去世。
The king gets so agitated,
然后国王就非常生气，
puts the boy in prison.
就把这个天文学家就把这个占星师给送到监狱去了。
And the astrologer is like, "I only told the truth."
然后这个占星师就说：“我说的都是真话呀。”
But the king says, "You will be executed because you are being you made this kind of statement."
然后国王就说：“你太粗鲁了，你说的不算的不对，我要把你执行死刑。”
So the boy is in the prison and he is waiting for the next day when he is going to be hanged.
所以这个占星师他就在监狱里待着，等着第二天被行刑。
So that night the minister of the king comes to the boy.
然后国王的一个大臣过来找他。
He says, "Why you communicate like this?"
他说：“你为什么要这样说呢？”
The boy said, "Sir, but that's what the charts are saying."
占星师说：“就是这样的，星盘就是这样说的。”
He said, "I will tell you how to communicate. Please try it differently."
然后这个他的大臣就说：“我教你怎么表达，你换一种方式。”
He says, "How, sir? Tomorrow king is going to hang me."
然后这个占星师就说：“还能怎么样呢？他马上就要把我绞死了。”
The minister says, "Our king is in our kingdom there is a rule.
然后他说：“其实我们国王有一个规则，
Before the person is executed, they are given a last wish.
其实这个规则都是在行刑之前，这个人会有最后一个愿望。”
You tell the king your last wish is to read the chart again because maybe you made some mistake, you want to be sure.
你就跟国王说，你的最后的愿望就是再看一下星盘，也可能你犯错误了呢，你想再确认一下。
But I am sure, sir.
然后但是占星师说：“我确定我看的没
He
错。”
said, I know, but you ask this and you communicate this way. And the minister teaches him how to communicate.
但这个大臣说：“我知道，那你就这样跟他说。”
So the next day the king comes.
第二天国王来了，
You have any last wish?
说：“你有最后的愿望吗
He said, yes, sir. I want to read the chart once？”
我
again.
想再看一下这个星盘，
Maybe I made a mistake.
可能我犯错了。
So the king says, okay, you have one more day time.
国王说：“好，那你再看一遍。”
So the boy is taking this time.
所以这个让他慢慢看。
Next day the king comes and asks, so what is your reading now?
第二天，国王过来问他说：“你看出来什么了
He said, sir, I have very good news.？”
他说：“我有好消息，非常好的消息，
I did not realize this before.
我以前没意识到这一点。
You are so healthy and so fine.
你如此的健康，
Your stars are so good.
你的星象特别好，
You live the longest in your family.
你是你们家人当中最长寿的。”
It's the same thing as your family members will die.
他跟前面说的，你家人都会在你之前死的是一样的，
But it's a non-violent way.
但是他这种表达是非暴力的。
And I think that is what we have to start to learn. The non-violent way to communicate, to act in various situations of life.
这就是我们要学会的表达方式，在生活的各个方面都学会这种非暴力的高效的表达。
Not only to others, but also to ourselves.
不仅仅对别人要这样，对自己也要这样，
And also to the creatures in this world.
还有对世界上的所有的生物、生命都要这样。
We are doing a lot of violence to all the creatures in the world. We are taking away so much of land for construction and building and this and that we don't allow resources for other animals and plants. There's not enough water for the animals. There's not enough trees for the birds to come and lay their nest. So we are taking away. That is also not correct.
我们其实对世界上的其他的植物做了很多暴力的行为，我们会砍伐大量的树木来建造房子，这样鸟就没有地方住了。我们会大量的用水污染水源，就让水生动物没有生存的地方，所以我们是非常暴力的。
So we have to start looking at our consumption habits as well as part of Ahimsa.
所以我们也要重新审视一下自己的消费习惯，这也是非暴力的一部分。
We have to find a balance.
要找到平衡。
And this is becoming more and more important today because the world is facing an environmental crisis.
这点是越来越重要的，因为世界正面临着环境危机。
We are killing too many animals and too many plants in a very short time that we will eventually kill ourselves and we don't realize this.
我们短时间内杀死了大量的植物，我们甚至没意识到这一点，最终其实这样也会害死人类的。
Many people say, oh, we are killing the world, we are killing the world.
有很多人都说我们在把世界毁灭，我们在毁灭世界。
That's also not true.
这样说的也不对。
We are killing ourselves.
其实我们是在毁灭自己。
Because the world will survive even after us.
因为即使人类没有了，地球还是存在的，世界还在。
The earth existed before us.
在我们之前，地球就存在了。
It's existing with us.
人类存在的时候，地球也存在。
And it will exist after us. When there is no resources for us to eat, we will die. The earth will somehow kill us all and then it will restart maybe 100 years later, 1,000 years later, 1 million years later. It's okay. But we will all not be there.
但是人类灭绝之后，地球还是会存在的。可能因为各种原因，我们没有资源了，人类就会消失了。但是几百年之后，地球会慢慢的复苏，地球依旧存在。
So in some ways we are killing ourselves. That is also not Ahimsa.
所以我们在毁灭自己，这也是不符合非暴力的原则的。
That's why the previous Sutra, Krita Karita Anumoditaha, whether you do it yourself or you are asking somebody else to do it or you are condoning what other people are doing, it is still this kind of action.
所以这里面所说的暴力，包括你自己的暴力行为，包括你指使他人的暴力行为，或者是你漠视他人有暴力的行为而不管，这些都叫做暴力。
So that's why we have to really find that peace within us so that we are not creating violence through our actions, not only through words, but also actions, but also in thoughts, not only in the present moment, but also in the future.
所以说，我们真的先要找到自己内在的平静，这样我们才会在言语上、行为上，包括思想上都没有暴力，而且现在没有暴力，对未来也是没暴力的。
Because our action does not have consequence only now, it has consequences in the future as well.
因为我们的行为并不仅仅对现在有影响，对未来也是有影响的。
That is why we need to be responsible so that we are not only doing non-violent action for the moment, but also non-violent for the future.
所以我们一定要负起责任，不仅仅当下不能有暴力的行为，也不能有对未来有危害的暴
That's
力
why
行为。
even reacting back to somebody who is violent to us with anger is not the solution.
所以对那些对我们暴力的人以愤怒回应，这也不是解决的办法。
That will only create more and more problems.
这样只会创造越来越多的问题。
If we take one eye for another eye, everybody will be blind.
如果以牙还牙、以眼还眼的话，那所有人都失明了。
So that's why this principle of Ahimsa is very, very high. That's why in the Mahabharata it says Ahimsa Paramo Dharma. The highest dharma is the principle of Ahimsa.
所以是非暴力的这个原则是极高的要求。书当中有说到最高的使命、最高的原则就是非暴力。
So we have to start establishing ourselves in the principle of Ahimsa. That is what is the first part. Ahimsa Pratishtaya. When you have established yourself in Ahimsa principle for a long time, in the domains of actions, words and intentions, then you have some benefits.
所以，首先我们就要让自己做到非暴力的原则。当你长时间的在言语、思想和行为方面都做到非暴力的时候，你就会获得巨大的好处。
Tatsannidhau vairatyaraha. In that person's presence, the concept of enmity or animosity will not even exist.
但如果是在这样一个非暴力的人旁边的话，你会发现完全没有敌意，他根本没有敌意、恶意这样的概念。
Vyasa says in the commentary to this that even those that are natural enemies, like the snake and the mongoose, they will be friends.
那比亚萨在《家经题库》当中说，如果是在这样的人面前，即使原来的那些天敌，像蛇呀什么这些人，都会变成人类的朋友，会变成他的朋友。
When you look at some of the paintings of some of the rishis in the past, you will always see in their ashram all kinds of animals. There will be a snake, there will be a lion, there will be a tiger, there will be a deer. Everybody will be very peaceful in the presence of this ashram of this rishi or the sage, because the sage has practiced ahimsa for so long that the concept of violence does not exist in his neighborhood.
如果大家看古代的一些圣人的画，就图画，或者是他们在一些进修院里面的画面的话，你会发现他们周围总是有很多动物的，在周围有鹿啊，有蛇，有各种各样的动物，就是因为这些圣人他们长时间的遵循非暴力的原则，在他的环境当中已经不再有暴力的概念了，所以所有的看似很凶猛的动物都能和谐的相处。
That's the concept. That's Sannidho Vairatyaka. In their presence, the concept of animosity or aggressive nature disappears.
这就是这句所说的含义。一旦有这样的非暴力的人存在的话，敌意、恶意等等所有的这些概念都彻底消失了。
I've been very, very fortunate to observe so many classes with my father when he was teaching.
我非常幸运观察了很多我父亲教学的情况。
And sometimes there will be some people who will call to say, "Sir, we have a big family problem with my brother, with my wife, so we want to come and discuss together with you."
有的时候我会看到有人非常着急的跟我爸爸说，我家庭问题非常严重，与我的妻子、与我的兄弟姐妹有很大的问题，我要找你解决。
And they'll come to the room of my father in the house, the classroom.
当他们进入到我父亲的教室的时候，
And very often my father always begins with some chanting.
我父亲通常是以某些唱诵开始。
And at the end of the my father will ask, "So what's the problem?"
然后唱完之后，我父亲再问说：“你要问什么问题来着？”
They'll forget what the problem is. They won't know what the problem is.
他都忘记自己的问题了，他觉得没啥问题要讨论的。
Or sometimes they'll say, "Actually, sir, it's not very big problem. We don't want to waste your time."
有的时候他们就会说，其实也不是什么严重的问题，老师我就不浪费你时间了。
And I've seen this that they will go out of our house to their car and start fighting again.
然后我见过他们一出了这个教室的门就开始吵架了。
So that's the concept. That's suddenly though in that presence of such a practitioner, the animosity will not exist because the vibration that they carry will start to influence the others as well. So it will calm them down.
这就是刚才所说的，因为练习者他创造出来的非常好的震动，就会影响到进来的人，这样的人就不再有敌意了，因为他的波动影响到这些人，其他人也就平静下来了。
And those kind of things will only come when you are practicing Ahimsa at the highest level.
但是只有你做到最高阶段的非暴力，才会拥有这样的能力。
Many students have hurt my father, been angry with my father, tried to hurt my father, but he never got agitated. He was calm. He never responded with anger or agitation.
有很多学生伤害我父亲，对他很生气或者试图伤害他，但是我父亲从来都是不受他们的影响的，因为他是非常平静的，完全不受任何
The same
的
I've seen.
影
The
响。
same I've seen with my grandfather.
我爷爷也是同样的情况。
And that is the examples we have because in our tradition, all our Ācāryas have this kind of an example.
这些就是我们的榜样，因为在我们的传承当中，所有的这些上师其实都是这样的人。
One of our ancestors, Sri Kausthub was a great example of this as well.
我们的一个祖先是Kausthub 也是这样的典型的例子。
Some of the people of his time wanted to insult him.
他当时的同时代的有一些人想要侮辱他，
So they would say they tied slippers in front of his house
他们就把拖鞋挂在他家门前，
because
挂在他家门前，
dirty slippers.
就很脏的拖鞋。
Because in our country, the worst insult is if you are beating somebody with a slipper.
因为在我们的文化当中，最糟糕的情况就是你拿鞋去扔人、去打人。
When Swami Desikachar would come out of his house, the slipper would hit his head, so they thought that's insulting him.
这样，这位上师他从家里出来的时候，你挂着鞋就会碰到他的头，他们用这样的方式来侮辱他，
And he would get angry.
然后他们觉得他就会生气了，
So when Swami Desikachar would come out and the slipper would hit his head,
他们就觉得很开心，因为只要这个Swami一出来，鞋就撞到了他头上。
he would fold his hands
他鞋撞到了头上之后，他就双手合十，
and pray to God saying, God, even through these people, you are reminding me that I have to surrender to your feet.
然后这位上师就说：“神，你甚至在通过这些人提醒我，我要臣服在你的脚下。”
He never got angry,
他从来不会生气，
even though the other people tried to insult him.
虽然其他人试图在侮辱他。
That is the level of Ahimsa we have to establish in order to move further in our spiritual path.
这就是如果我们想要在灵性层面进步的 要达到的非暴力的高度。
That's why we are not close to yoga states. We are doing physical exercise. We are not doing yoga because we don't have this Ahimsa attitude at this level.
所以其实我们并没有真正的接近瑜伽，我们只是做一些身体上的锻炼，因为我们并没有做到如此高的水准的非暴力。
It doesn't matter if we are not perfect yet because we are all humans and we are not perfect. So what's important is to remind ourselves that we should start in this journey and move towards this level even if we are not there yet.
我们每个人都是普通人，还不完美，这也很正常，也没有关系。但是我们从现在开始要提醒自己，要往这个方向努力。
At least move in that direction even if we are not there yet.
虽未达到，但至少我们先向往直往这个方向走就好了。
So that is the message of this sutra. Ahimsa pratisthayam tat sannidhau vairatyaga.
这就是这句唱诵要传达给我们的，谢谢。